Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
What's up, folks? Here's a look at what's going on at the Rooster in the month of December. Starting on Friday the 5th, we've got Grayson Magaha stand-up comedy show. You may or may not know this guy. He's blown up on TikTok and YouTube. He's actually a local guy. He's from the Monroe area, and this is going to be his first hometown show. Tickets are moving very fast, so if you want a good, clean comedy show for the holidays, get those tickets now. Meet and greets are also available. And then the very next night, on Saturday the 6th, Crack a Smile Studios presents Gilby Clarke. You might know this man from Guns N' Roses. He was also in Slash's Snake Pit. And he's going to be putting on an acoustic performance here at the Rooster. Opening for him will be the Death of August and Michael Bolt. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to get Death of August back at the Rooster. It's been well over a year since they performed here, and those girls rip. All right, the next weekend, Friday, the 12th of December, we have another acoustic show featuring Fake Happy, the Paramore tribute, and this will kick off our toy drive for the holidays. As you may or may not know, we do a toy drive for the domestic violence shelter here in town every year around Christmas, and this is the first show that we are asking you to bring new unwrapped toys to donate to the DV shelter. We have more information and an Amazon wish list if you go look at our website for this show. It's the Friday the 12th with Fake Happy acoustic performance. And then the next night on the 13th, Crack a Smile is back with Mike Tramp, formerly of White Lion. It's another acoustic show. We're heavy on the acoustic for December, man. We want you to come out for the holidays, have a good time. It's not going to be too loud. Opening for Mike Tramp is Prowess, Pageant, and our good friend Mikey Black's doing some solo stuff. I cannot wait to see that. The following weekend, Friday the 19th, we've got Stone Whiskey coming back with Tiger. Now that's going to be a loud rock and roll show, so bring your earplugs to that one. Then on the 20th is our official Christmas party here at the Rooster. That's right, it's our Rockin' Christmas featuring My Blue Hope, Darling Machine, and Rothschild. This is an indie rock show, and it will also be the conclusion of our toy drive, so please bring new unwrapped gifts to that show as well. And then after the Christmas holiday, there's one more weekend of the year, and we have on Friday the 26th, the Murder by Folk show. It's all dark folk, and it's actually a Salisbury invasion because they're all bands from the Salisbury area. They're going to be coming down to entertain you for a night full of dark folk. And then the last Saturday of the year, December the 27th, we're bringing back Deep Six, the Pearl Jam and Seattle Sound tribute. It's no secret I'm a huge fan of Pearl Jam, so I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited too. If you love that grunge era stuff, if you love Pearl Jam, come out on the 27th of December to see Deep Six. And then if you haven't noticed, we've been announcing a whole lot of new shows lately. We're starting to fill up our January, February calendar's filling up, and we're letting you all know what's coming up. So go to our website, theroostergastonia.com, click on the events tab and look at all of our amazing upcoming events, and we hope to see you at a show here soon. Peace and love.
They have AI artists now. It's great. They have AI artists getting signed by labels.
Well, I understand why people get bent out of shape about AI art. I mean, yes, and it's a valid argument. It really is. I get it. You're not really creating, and the more energy we pump into that, the less relevant we are as humans. So, on that level, I totally understand the mentality. However, AI is extremely useful in other ways. We run our podcast through an AI software that pulls clips. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's something.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a great tool to have at your disposal. So I kind of,
it depends on what you use it for.
I'm old and I'm kind of old school. So I'm also kind of I watched the Terminator movies and all that stuff growing up, and it's like, I can kind of see where this could go really, really bad for us as a species.
Like, I watched Black Mirror, I know.
What a great show,
I know.
right? Holy crap. Yeah, it does. It kind of shows you, like, this is what could happen if you keep fucking around. I'm not really a fence sitter. I mean, I guess at my core, I would prefer to live life without artificial intelligence. If you fit a gun to my head, I'm like, well, yeah, we probably don't need it. But at the same time, it can be a very, very useful tool for a lot of things, especially in education.
Yeah, it's just the things they're using it for, like art, and they're using it to like replace a lot of people's jobs, and it's just things they don't need to be using it for.
Yeah, anytime a technology takes away from our ability to survive and provide for ourselves, that's kind of a hard line for me. You know? Like I said, we use that one software to pull clips, and that's as far as I'm ever going to take it. Like I don't see how it could benefit my business any other way without hurting the people that work for me and that I work with. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But it's, I mean, people are like, bands are breaking up because of the use of AI, and it's like, that's a I mean, actually going to stand on principle, go for it, you
Gotta do it. Yeah, I still think it's crazy that they have AI artists that are being signed.
Wait, what?
You
bands and artists.
There are actual artists. There's one of them is an R&B artist. Like, she is fully AI. Even the music is from Suno, which is basically what they use to train the AI on other people's music, essentially. So even the artist's voice and everything is not really real or really theirs, if that makes sense.
That's kind of weird. Yeah. That's very Black Mirror-ish.
It's crazy. You should look it up for real.
Well, I have come across on like my, I use probably YouTube more than anything else as far as social media goes. And I have come across, like, my wife and I are metalheads. We listen to a lot of heavy metal, but we also like a lot of other stuff. So one thing that's been coming on our feed is like AI renderings of like metal songs, but as like 1950s and 40s jazz.
I see those on YouTube. It'll be like this song, but in this other artist style, and they'll mash it up or something.
And that's it's fun. But it's AI created art.
See, I like those when it's actually artists that do it. Like, there's some people I follow where they will actually sit down and create a mashup. Like, they'll write it, play it, and everything. So they don't use AI for it. So it's doable, You just
it's weird. It's a blurred line. You know what I mean? It's like what's right and what's wrong. I mean, it's really all about perspective, I guess.
Got to consider the implications and the effect on our natural resources too, because apparently they use a lot of water to cool down the data centers for ChatGPT, which is insane. It's like, wow, I used ChatGPT before I found out about that. And
I've never used ChatGPT. Like, I've had friends. I've had friends that have like used it on their phone at my house. I've watched people use it, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
I think a lot of people are becoming too reliant on it, so it's probably a good thing.
I remember a few years ago, South Park did an episode about the kids using ChatGPT to do their schoolwork and stuff. And like, I think Stan was like using it to respond to his girlfriend because she wouldn't stop texting him. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
It's funny.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess my line is when it starts taking away from our ability to provide. But that's not the only thing. It's not just AI hardware, server rooms, just sucking up resources. There's also, just the use of our cell phones, the things we have to do to get the materials to build these, and electric cars. For a long time, people thought electric cars were going to be the savior of climate change. Well, it turns out, in order to get those materials, you basically have to enslave a population of people to get those minerals, and it's like, it's not always as black and white as people want to think it is. It's weird, man. I've been having a lot of these type of conversations too lately with people about like where we're going to go from here. What
the future is.
You think about what we're doing to the planet. How long before Mother Earth decides to like shrug her shoulders and send another wave or another flood,
Yeah.
40-day flood or whatever, whatever the catastrophe might be that wipes the population in half, or so.
Hopefully not within our lifetime.
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, as Maynard said, learn to swim.
Yeah. Ooh, he might be onto something.
That's pretty much what that song's all about.
I've heard things about underwater populations in the future.
I've heard, I've seen some stuff about that too. It's interesting, and it's made for some pretty cool movies.
Yeah. There's a lot of hidden truths in a lot of movies too, I feel like.
Yeah. I think a lot of writers throughout, even hundreds of years of people have written and tried to kind of predict the future or warn humanity about the repercussions and the consequences of certain actions and stuff. One big one for me was 1984.
Yeah.
Orwell. He wasn't really well liked. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a bummer. It's a bummer when someone tells you what you're doing is wrong and you can ruin humanity with it.
Your entire lifestyle.
Ayn Rand was another one. I don't know if you guys ever read Atlas Shrugged or The Fountainhead. Those are two, very long, very wordy novels. But at the core of it was this philosophy of objectivism. Kind of like this is what could happen if you let Her stance on everything was like you have producers and you have non-producers. The reality is you have producers and consumers, right? So there's kind of a give and take relationship there.
Yeah.
But her take on it was you had people that did all the work, that produced all of the great things, and then the people that had no talent and had no ability to create just kind of leached off of those.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a negative take on it because it's not exactly true, but then you look at American politics and you can kind of see where she's coming from. You know what I mean? So it's not that I was planning to have a philosophical discussion.
Have you read The World is Flat? By Thomas Friedman.
Oh, yeah. One of my wife and I's favorite bands is Deftones, and the guitar player Steph is a flat earther.
Is he really?
He's not only is he a flat earther, they can't tour outside of the U.S. because he won't get out of a plane. They have to hire a guitar player.
Wait, have they never toured out?
They have.
That's crazy.
They have, but they hire a guitar player.
That's insane.
Why did I never know that?
It's wild, isn't it?
Does he think he's going to fall off or what?
I haven't done a deep enough dive. I tend not to put too much energy in nonsense. You know what I mean? I really don't want to waste my brain space with nonsense.
Yeah.
But we should probably introduce you guys. Are we good, Ron? Okay.
Do the mics work? Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, are we already go? Oh, I didn't realize that.
It'll be a fun start.
Oh, I don't know if I was already up
checking levels.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Death of August. I'm so excited that you're here. So go ahead and look at the camera and introduce yourself to the audience.
Oh, I'm Helena.
Hi, I'm Amirah.
Yeah, and you ladies, y'all been ripping for a while, man. You've played here a couple of times. It's been a minute. I thought that you guys kind of maybe took a break or something. Hadn't really seen a lot from you, but then you kind of pop back up in the feed again a little bit, and then shout out to AJ. The reason we're talking to Death of August is not only because they're a wonderful, wonderful artist, but they're going to be here on Saturday, December the 6th with Gilby Clarke. How exciting is that?
Super exciting.
Super excited, yeah.
And shout out to AJ from Carolina Headbangers for making that happen. So if y'all want, we can start by talking a little bit about that, about the upcoming show and kind of what's been going on since we've seen you last. Because I think the last time I saw you was like May of 23.
That sounds about right, yeah.
So what's been going on?
Well, we were on a bit of a hiatus. Just life changes, one or the other, and I got my wisdom teeth taken out after the show.
That was painful. Did you get all four at once?
I did. Yeah. I don't know if it was a good decision, but yeah, I got all four taken out, and we were like, yeah, let's just hold off on shows until I heal, and then we're gonna book shows. And a lot of life changes happened, so we kind of had to deal with other things, and eventually decided to go on a bit of a hiatus and pick things up when we felt ready to do so.
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to take a step back to kind of evaluate, figure things out a little bit, It was always kind of meant to be temporary. to some degree, you know.
The hiatus.
The hiatus, yeah. Sorry, I didn't elaborate on that.
Yeah, I think sometimes you need to take a couple steps backwards in order to, like Amirah said, reevaluate how to move forward. And I think that's something that was super beneficial for us to have some time to kind of reflect on everything, reflect on what we've been going through as a band, individually too, and then kind of figure out, I don't know, I guess also give us a chance to sort of miss the music a bit too, and like really appreciate it for what it is, you know, because people can kind of lose perspective.
Yeah, I call that evolution. Yeah, people evolve. I mean, even doing what I do, I have to reassess how I'm doing things every few months or so, because people change, their lives change. You know, the people that we work with, sometimes people kind of weave in and out of our lives, and then so like you've got this relationship with your music, right, and the people you work with, and then sometimes you do have to kind of reassess, or you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And I totally understand where you're coming from, and I do the same thing here. There's, like I said, we'll go on a run with a handful of promoters and artists and stuff, and then they kind of disappear for a little while, and then they pop back up, and it's all because we're all living our lives. It's not like any of us are getting rich off this, so we all still have responsibilities and stuff. So I totally get it, but I'm really, really happy that you're kind of surging back. Tell me a little bit about how you guys started. I know a little bit about you. I know that you guys kind of trained, or not trained, but learned how to play around the same time at the same place. Do you want to discuss at all about how you guys got started?
Sure. Yeah. Do you want to?
Because was it 2013 that we met? I think
so. Yeah.
Because we both took lessons from the same teacher. Like we took lessons at Guitar Center, and they had the what was it called, jam nights, where like once a month you would just get up and jam with all the other students. And I guess she was at a jam night. She was playing, and I saw her once. And I think we just kind of started talking. We're like, we should get together and play. And we're like, yeah. And then we just kind of started getting together jam. I don't think there was really much of, I don't know, like an intention with it. We were just like, we're just going to play and see what happens. Yeah. And then we were just kind of like, hey, we should find a drummer and actually play shows and, get like a whole band. Because at first we were just kind of playing covers and just having fun with it. But yeah.
And then we started writing music, and eventually we're putting out feelers for other members, including a vocalist.
Yeah, that's
really?
I forgot about that.
Take a step back from all that.
Well, no,
she wasn't doing it at first.
Yeah, we were just both playing guitar, and no one was singing. So we put out some feelers for a vocalist, and after a couple of attempts that went interesting. I don't know, it was interesting. Our drummer at the time, his dad was over, like everyone was at my house, and my mom played a recording for him or for them of me singing, kind of against my will, sort of, kind of. And he asked, well, why don't you sing? I was like,
yeah, why didn't we consider that? I don't know.
But also, I'd never really sang our genre of music. It was just kind of like, I don't know, like Green Day and I don't know.
Well, I mean, you guys rip. Like, I mean, there's like a progressive element to your music that's impressive when you're on stage. Like, these girls are a lot of fun to watch on stage. Let me just say that, get that out of the way. So, I was going to ask, like, you're writing prog metal, for lack of a better way of describing it.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
What drew you to it? Because like, what did you kind of grow up on? What did you like listen to? And kind of how do you think you ended up writing this type of music?
I think it's an array of different artists that we both like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when we first started playing, we kind of tried to find the common ground with artists that we like Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, artists like that. And then we kind of just played a bunch of covers, and I think just some kind of a style kind of evolved from there. Because neither of us really had experience writing music, right? At least the type of music that we
Let me
have.
ask you this. Yeah. Did you guys, like, when you started, you went to Guitar Center for lessons, were both of you, like, into the idea, or was it, like, something your parents were like, you need to do this? Like,
well, when I was much, much younger, my parents wanted to sign me up for something. So, some kind of extracurricular. I wanted to play drums initially. And they were like, we don't have space for that. We're going to have to put the drums in the garage. And I was like, okay, all right, I guess that's out of the question. And there was piano too. So guitar was actually my third choice of instrument, but I'm actually really happy that I chose guitar. I've dabbled with the other two, but I'm much better at guitar than I am at the other two. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing.
It was my choice. It's funny because I had an acoustic guitar like several years before I ever learned how to play it, and I like accidentally broke it. And so when I actually wanted to start learning guitar, my mom was absolutely like, I'm not getting you a guitar because you broke the last one. It was like one of those, those like first act guitars that used to sell at Walmart. Like those cheap ones.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it looks cool. And then I broke it. And then I had to beg her for a guitar eventually. So I was very adamant about wanting to learn it.
What drew you to it? Like, what was it about guitar that made you want to play it so bad?
I think one, I had a friend at the time because I didn't really know much about like rock and metal initially. And she was into a lot of older, like older bands that I didn't know. And she got me into it. And then we used to play a lot of Guitar Hero. And I'm not going to lie, that influenced
it's a very different skill, but yeah.
I was like, hey, maybe I can learn guitar.
I suck at Guitar Hero.
I used to play it so much.
I did too.
Yeah.
I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
Because I used to play it before guitar, so I guess that I heard a lot of guitarists are bad at it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, it's such a different skill set than actually play guitar. Give people a false sense of confidence,
Yeah, I had no intentions of being good or anything. I was just like, it'll be a hobby. I was just like, I had no intentions of being in a band or anything. I just thought it's something I could do in my free time, but I actually like doing it.
Yeah, but lo and behold, look at you guys now.
Yeah.
I mean, you do stuff I can only dream of on guitar.
Well, I think also when we met, I think I'd been taking lessons on and off since I was a kid, but kids' attention spans, like you pick something up, you set it down, you get distracted by something else. And it wasn't until a little bit before we met that I started lessons again. And I got super into it because of Avenged Sevenfold and other bands like that. And then when we met, I think a lot of teachers were starting to kind of like transition out of the guitar center that we were taking lessons from. And I think that us playing together also gave me an additional boost of motivation and excitement about playing music.
You guys get competitive at all on the guitar? Like, do you guys ever go back and forth?
Well,
not really competitive.
I think when we were much younger, when we met for the first time, I remember thinking like, wow, Amirah's so good. Because, like, I don't know, she's obviously still 2 years older than me now, but at the time I was 13 and she was 15. And I was like, wow, she's so good. And so it kind of inspired me to practice more too. Because I remember we were playing an Avenged Sevenfold song.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I need to like work on this part in order to be able to hang, in order to be able to like sync up together as far as like the dual lead guitars and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember I didn't really have much experience playing with people. So I remember I was like, oh, she's really talented because she gets like, did you sing when I saw you at the open mic? I feel like you might have.
I
was like, she can sing, she can play guitar, like she's talented. This should be fun.
So you kind of saw in her the whole package, and you saw in her this like aspiration to get better.
Yeah, I think we both like just saw first the talent and then just the potential to be able to just be more than what we were at the time in terms of musicians. I think also it was just like someone cool to hang out with,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a big one for a young lady.
Yeah.
Just putting my dad hat on for a minute, right? Because I've got a teenage daughter now, and when she was like 4 and 5, that's when my wife and I were like, we gotta like see what we want to figure out, like we want her to like learn a skill or a trade or something that because one of the things that we learned, like neither one of us like really saw something all the way through in terms of training, and then it kind of put us in a position we were like in our professional life. And you kind of learn, well, if you don't learn some sort of a discipline when you're young, it gets harder and harder and harder as you get older to become more disciplined. So at 4, she was playing soccer, and then we took her to gymnastics. We tried to do drum lessons and all this different stuff, and we actually landed on karate when she was 6.
Nice.
And so she went for 5 years. She took karate and got her little junior black belt. And there were times where she wanted to quit. And I never, like, it kind of turns my stomach when I see a parent, like, yelling at their kid, you got to do this, forcing kids to do stuff. That drives me crazy. It's like you're giving this kid such a warped sense of purpose, you know, like you're doing it for all the wrong reasons, you know. So we never wanted to put that pressure on her. But when she started getting close to getting that junior black belt, we were like, don't you want to finish this? Don't you want to see it through? Yeah. And she did, you know, she did. There were times where it was tough. And then when we told her, once you get that black belt, you can do whatever. You can quit. But we wanted her to have that sense of accomplishment of achieving a goal. And just as a dad, like, I can appreciate it that you guys kind of saw this through and then found each other, because I think that's the one thing she was missing in karate. Like, she didn't really have a close friend out of it. And now she plays basketball, and she's pretty good for a 15-year-old girl. She's really good at basketball. And she's kind of found like a place to belong, you know?
Yeah, kind of like a
community. Would it have been cool if she'd have picked up drums or guitar? Yeah, but I'm into sports too, so it's cool, you know?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, my parents weren't like pushing anything on me, and I think they were very encouraging, but they also let me gravitate towards music, or gravitate back towards it, because when I started lessons again before we met, I really wanted to play guitar again. And just like same thing with like both music and arts, because I went to an art school, and same thing with that. My parents never pushed it. They were like, never like, you need to do this or need to do that.
The only time, like, I wouldn't even say we're pushy. We just, when she gets close on something, and we're like, you got to finish strong, like, finish this. Yeah. But I've never, like, we've never made her go do something. Right? And there are times where it's like, I don't want to do this today, but it's like, no, you're on this team. You need to be part of the team. But the only reason I bring that part of it up is because I think it's important for people to understand, like, when you've got kids and you're raising kids, you know, you want them to find that extracurricular thing that makes them happy, gives them a sense of purpose, and you just can't force them. Just because I played football and baseball, you know, just because that's what I did doesn't mean that's what my kid has to do. So we were very open to whatever the thing may be. You know, my stepdaughter, our oldest, she's an artist, you know, and she's, you know, and, you know, so we let her, you know, yes, it can get expensive, but that's what you do for your kids. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, you know, you're kind of watering that seed, you know, you're giving it the things it needs to survive and become a person, you know?
Yeah, you have to let them explore things on their own a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of exploring, like, when you said you've mentioned Avenged Sevenfold a couple of times, so you guys kind of grew up in that era of metal and rock. You know, when you guys started writing music, was there any intention to have a specific sound, or was it like, this is a cool riff? Like, what do you think of this?
I think it was more the second one. Yeah. I'm like, that sounds cool. Let's just kind of go with it. I don't really feel like we had a defined sound really that we were aiming for.
I know there were times where I was like, oh, I want to kind of, not super intentionally, but kind of like, because I also love Trivium. I kind of wanted, I was like, oh, I kind of want to like sort of sing a little bit more like Matt in certain places. In our song Thresher, definitely the verses a little bit, just kind of embracing like the singing from the gut to the diaphragm.
There were definite obvious influences. Yeah.
Metallica. That dude's work ethic is incredible, man.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yes, he is.
He can solo and sing at the same time. I'm like, I thought that Dave Mustaine could do a lot in terms of playing and singing at the same time. And then I saw Matt, and I'm like, wow, I sent
insane her a video of him. Literally, he was singing, but he was like literally shredding this entire solo at the same time, and I'm just like, are you human?
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, In Waves was the album that caught my attention. That's kind of when they came on my radar, and like that album is just sick, just start to finish, all bangers. And it's been fun to kind of watch that career kind of weave in and out, because each album kind of has a little different vibe to it. Yeah. I like rooting for artists to kind of like keep things interesting and not just do the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it gets a little formulaic, you know, you want to do the same thing. It's nice to mix it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still got to listen to did they drop their new album yet?
They released a new single.
A new single. Okay.
Yeah,
the single.
Yeah, the last album was good. It didn't get a lot of attention, but it was good.
I listened to it. I liked it too. Yeah,
I liked it. Well, let me ask you this, because the show on Saturday is an acoustic show.
Yeah.
Are you nervous at all about? Have you done your music acoustic before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the last year that we've been, because it's just been the two of us the last year, as far as like just songwriting and playing live shows. We've been doing both covers and our original songs acoustically at the shows within the last year.
Yeah, and even when we played, like electric, we always still had somewhat of an acoustic set that we would do every now and then just to kind of switch things up. So yeah, we're used to we have a handful of originals that we do acoustically.
So, so for this show that's coming up this week, are you going to be mixing up covers and originals for this?
Yeah.
We'll throw in some covers. Yeah.
Guess y'all need to talk about the set list.
No, I was trying to remember what it was. I was like,
No, we're. I need another coffee. That's for sure. We've been really tired. There was no sun yesterday. For
It gets dark at 5
I know,
p.m.
it's about to be 80 degrees today. How about that?
Yeah, every single season in 1 week.
That's crazy. Our thermostat is super confused because I don't do well with the cold, but it's been like incrementally getting warmer and warmer. And I'm like, crap, like we shouldn't have the heat on because it's like 78 degrees in the house. So yeah,
good old Morris Jenkins is going to get real busy in the next few weeks.
I mean,
Definitely.
hey, maybe you'll have a good opportunity to go to the park.
Well, didn't
before
it
gets
just snow a week ago too?
Yes,
Like, how does that
that's
happen?
exactly what
Seconds.
my daughter said this morning. We were at the house, kind of getting ourselves together, and I told my wife, I was like, "I'm wearing shorts today.
Yeah.
It's going to be 80 degrees."
Yeah.
And my daughter's like, "Didn't it just snow a week ago?" Like, I think so. Yeah, this is wild.
And now it feels like spring outside.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And welcome to the bipolar weather in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's still better than most places in the U.S. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't know how traveled you guys are. I've been all over the country, and at the end of the day, my wife and I used to play that game where we'd be like, if we were going to move, where would we go? And then we'd sit there and like talk the pros and cons out of different parts of the country. It's like, no, it's better here. You ever do that? You ever like think about?
Like hypothetically.
Yeah.
Hypothetically go off grid.
Very that.
Speaking of getting out of town, do y'all tour much? Do y'all get to get out? Do y'all just play around here? Or?
Yeah, we've never really done like an actual tour before. I feel like we've kind of we've talked about it before at some points, but just never done it.
Yeah.
Where would you want to play? Or like, do you have like aspirations? There somewhere it's like, man, I'd love to play that place there, or I'd love to see this city.
Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe Europe. Like I have family in Europe. It'd be cool to be able to perform for family. I feel like
Have you been there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What
Yeah.
part of Europe?
Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was funny. Lots of Europe. Metal goes over really well in Europe. Seems like.
Yeah, they have a huge metal scene there, so I
Yeah.
think that'd be fun. I don't know how it is in Bulgaria, but hey, I'm down.
That would be fun.
50 maybe. But what about you?
I'm trying to think. I think Europe is a good option. I feel like it just because of where I'm from, it'd be cool to play New York, somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but just like my family's never really seen me play, so I think that'd be cool. Yeah.
So you've got family in New York.
Yeah,
still.
I'm from New York originally.
What brought you to North Carolina?
Well, I've been here since 2001, so I was basically lived here my whole life. But it's just my dad job moved down here, so
okay.
we just moved down here. Yeah,
Right
so
on.
I don't really consider myself a New Yorker though, because I've lived here since I was 4.
Yeah, my mother's from Connecticut, so I've got a ton of family up that way.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when we were kids, we'd go visit them a lot, and I remember going up like around Christmas time to visit family, and just how cold it was. That's that. I mean, it really ruined me on the northern part of the country, because as a kid, it was so cold. Like, I'm a kid, I'm like out there, I'm freezing, a little crybaby. But like as a result, now like when I think about like how do people live in Wisconsin, how do they do that? I feel like you got to be a completely different type of person. But
Yeah, I like cold, not that cold.
yeah. Any other spots? Are there any venues that like you have aspired to go to that you'd like to play at?
I feel like I'm trying to remember. Was there not one was it Greensboro or something? I feel like we talked about. I can't remember if it even exists anymore.
Was that the Blind Tiger? Where we
Basically,
saw
I'm
Veil of
lobbying to
Maya?
get you guys on the road.
I'm trying to remember,
so that
because
more
there's-
people can see you play.
There's a lot of venues that like they shut down, unfortunately. So it's kind of, I'm trying to remember which ones are still there. You know.
Oh yeah, this is a
It's
really tough business.
yeah.
to be
That's what it's. What about you? I'm gonna keep thinking.
I don't know. I feel like I don't remember where we saw Veil of Maya.
That's what the venue I was thinking about. Yeah.
It's not the Blind Tiger though.
There was a
Man.
venue in Greensboro that we both liked.
It's like really interesting because it's a really long, big venue, and it almost feels like you kind of swoop down.
yeah. I
Stages.
can't remember what it's called. But it was a nice venue though. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I think it was Veil of Maya and Animals as Leaders.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we saw. That was a good show.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was it?
Veil of Maya and Animals as Leaders.
I don't know either of those bands.
They're both
You
amazing.
should check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds-
Like on the
sounds like
proggier side.
They're
Yeah.
much proggier than us.
Yeah,
like, we're
like
definitely a hard rock, heavy metal,
Yeah.
more or less.
We're not on that.
Well, I like the like you guys kind of have like a suspenseful element to your music that's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you've got these like these build ups and stuff that it just makes it fun to listen to.
Oh,
All the
thank
tempo
you.
changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we confuse ourselves sometimes. So, we're like, why are there 3 tempo changes in this whole song? Like, who wrote this?
The first song that we wrote was just a bunch of riffs that I think I had like 1 or 2 riffs in that song, but Amirah came to me with all these riffs and I was like, whoa, these are so cool. So we put them all in the same song.
We're like, should we spread them
They were
out?
all in the same key.
No, we're just gonna throw them all in that one song.
So I think there's probably like 10 riffs in that song.
Yeah, that
More or
was the Sundaggers, the very first song that we ever wrote, like ever.
Yeah.
So that was a fun experience.
Yeah.
Trying to navigate that, because I think both of us never really wrote music before, so we had kind of riffs and stuff that we had accumulated. So we were like trying to figure out how to put those into songs. So
Yeah.
that was a process.
That's funny. My wife and I, several years back, we did a VIP thing for Tool, and part of the thing was we got to go with all the people that bought that got to go in like this room, and we got to meet their guitar player, and he was talking about how they write music and how like each of them kind of write alone, and then like they come together like I've got this, and they talked about how they have so much more music that's never been released because it's like piecing it all together is such a daunting task to make it sound cohesive, you know. And then that was before Fear Inoculum come out, and if Fear Inoculum comes out and you've got all these, you know, half-hour long songs, and it's like it kind of made more sense after knowing that, after hearing them talk about it, because each little riff you write, each little bit you write is your baby, and it's like you're trying to find a way to feature it in your music, and then putting it all. It's like it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is like that.
Now, when you write, who's writing drum licks for your music?
Usually what drummer is in our band.
So you're kind of giving freedom to whoever you bring in to play drums to write
Yeah.
those parts for you.
I think it's nice. Like, you know, there have been times where we've had drums written by someone that was previously in the band, but I think it's also nice to give the new person creative freedom and liberty to put their own spin on things because, you know, they're not the same drummer, they're not the same musician, so it'll be nice to be able to give them the opportunity to play like themselves, you know, instead of
No,
trying
that's
to copy
cool.
someone.
I mean, it's a laissez-faire kind of attitude about, you know, writing, because a lot of people will be like, no, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys are like, this is how this is supposed to sound. But it's cool that you're bringing people into, you know, basically a family scenario with being a band, and giving them that freedom is cool.
Yeah.
Plus it opens new doors to some of your, you know, kind of keeps your songs a little fresh, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, like we might give a little bit of input, but we're just ultimately like you kind of have free reign to do what you think sounds best.
Yeah,
What are you looking for in a vocalist? like, all right, pitch right now to the camera. Like you're looking for a vocalist. What are you looking for if somebody wanted to come sing for Death of August?
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
Like a guest vocalist.
Well, you said that you were like looking for someone to kind
At
of
the time.
at the time.
we
Okay.
started
when we
So you've
started.
settled in and you're comfortable now.
Oh yeah, no, this was before we started playing shows.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like we
okay.
were
No,
instrumental.
My bad.
no, you're
I
good.
heard that
You're
wrong.
We were
Yeah.
instrumental when we first started playing, like
Yeah.
open mics and stuff. We were looking for a vocalist, and we just kind of, Helena's like, oh, just kind of do it. I think it was supposed to be temporary. I feel like you were like, I'll do it until we find someone,
we
and
didn't
then we
find
just
anyone.
never found anyone.
For many
So,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've adjusted to like singing our genre of music. I don't sing anything super heavy, but I've also learned a lot. I taught music for a brief period of time, like guitar and vocals and a bit of other things, and I also learned a lot that I could take home and work on and practice, and that's definitely helped me grow as a guitarist, as a vocalist. I think it's just like putting in the work, and I have fun with it. So I mean, I think we're pretty good, right?
Yeah, I would like to think so.
No, I think your music's great. I mean, you're one of my favorite locals, just because first of all, the music's good. Second of all, you are one of the most fun bands to watch live. You know, like,
Oh, thanks.
like it's clear that you get the zoomies on stage a little bit. It's like when you bring a puppy home and they will
Just
you know,
excited.
just excited. It's really really fun to watch.
Well,
It's
thank
got
you.
like this infectious energy, you know, which you know I think I think just that alone can take you places. Just being entertaining. You know, there's bands that have played here that are extremely talented, but they're just not that fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like and that's you know part of that you can't really teach. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing drums. Like I feel like there's a characteristic that drummers have that everyone else doesn't have to be good at drums. You know. Yes, you can teach yourself, you can get better, but like the best drummers, you can't teach what they do.
I feel like there was maybe a little bit of a learning curve because I don't think that we were particularly that entertaining to watch in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because like we were kind of, I don't know, like I had stage fright and we were both just kind of would just stand there.
Well, you were kids too. I mean, you guys started really young.
Yeah, it's definitely evolved over time, and also with the vocal aspect of things, I've been getting this one to sing a little bit more too,
Oh.
and a lot of people enjoy the harmonies. Like that's one thing, especially acoustically, because you can hear the vocals a lot more in an acoustic setting than a full band setting. A lot of people come up when they do come up, they mention they like the vocal harmonies, and I think that's super cool because we've been working on it more and more as time has gone on.
Let me ask you something that might help somebody out watching that might be in that stage of their life or career or whatever. What have you done to build that confidence? Like is there anything specific you can attribute to like getting you from that place of, oh my God, what do I do, to where you're at now?
I'll let you go first if you want.
I think
Is
a
it
lot
just
of it.
practice?
Yeah, I want to say
Yeah.
a lot of it was just experience going out. The more we played shows and we kept getting, like positive feedback and meeting people, it just kind of built it kind of slowly, but over time. And we had people like, giving us advice too, which helped. So I think it's just getting more comfortable with people in the scene too. But
Yeah.
what about you?
I also think that a lot of people want to avoid making mistakes. And I think that's just a part of the process.
That is-
Like making a fool out of yourself. It happens. I
That's
mean,
fantastic advice.
there are people that I know that have like busted their butts on stage, like literally, like have fallen, have tripped, have like have had show injuries from performing on stage. We don't go super crazy like that, but I do admire the people that do that. I've said crazy things on stage, like just things that like I would prefer not to watch back. So, really just trying out different things, seeing what sticks, making a fool out of yourself if you have to, taking notes from every performance. If it's not like physically writing things down, just taking a mental note, because every show is a learning experience in some way, shape, or form. You learn something along the way.
That's very, very good advice. Yeah, but you can't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
A lot of people are afraid of ridicule, or they're afraid of what people might say. It's like you have got to just make that not even matter. Whatever mechanism you have in your toolbox, figure out a way to stop giving a shit what people have to say about you.
It can be hard, but it's a work in progress for sure.
It also keeps you back from growing, because if you're afraid to make mistakes, you don't get to tap into the other part. Like when you push through the mistakes, you have a breakthrough essentially.
Yeah, you
whether
learn
it's
something.
guitar-wise or vocally. Especially vocally, I feel like for such a long time, like even at home, I'd be like, I don't want to sound bad. I don't want to mess up. I don't want anyone to hear me. And it's through deliberately messing up and trying different things that I've actually been able to see growth over the years. But behind closed doors.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's because not every song you write are you gonna, like initially. Like sometimes you write something and you're like, oh, that's going back in the vault. Like you have to. It's trial and error. Like you mess up. Sometimes I practice and I'm just like, nothing sounds right. Everything sounds bad. But you got to push past that.
Yeah, push through. I again go back some. Sorry, you guys remind me a lot of my daughters, so I'm like wearing my dad hat on today's episode. But I tell her, we have these conversations all the time about just you building up the mental toughness to like see something all the way through to the end. No one is successful by accident, like no one, and no one, and there's no such thing as an overnight success. It takes work, and that's why it's called work. It sucks, but it's like that work is what builds you into becoming that professional, to becoming that performer, or whatever the goal is you're trying to achieve, whether it's karate or basketball or whatever the thing you're into is. My fear is that some of the things that young people are into now, there's what are you going to do with that? My daughter, she makes fun of furries a lot. And I'm like, what are you getting out of that? It's not really a skill worth developing, but then there are things that are practical that you can develop a skill.
I think that's something we will never know.
I don't think so either.
I'm not going to pretend to understand furries, but
I'm not
hating.
For the record, I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying, like, it's more of a hobby than it is a trade.
I think you can have some things that are hobbies that it's like, this is just something I'm going to do for fun. It has no practical use. And then it's nice to have some hobbies where you're like, this can be attributed to something. Like I started crocheting, and so I learned how to kind of make things. Like I can make some clothing. I'm like, I can live off the grid.
It's so funny.
Need a whole lot more than that.
I gotta learn how to take care of the plants. That's next.
Every time I give Amirah a plant,
it dies. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet with the plants.
But you have a green thumb or no?
No, my mom has a bit more of a green thumb than I do. Yeah.
That's something my wife picked up as here in the last several years is trying to keep plants alive. We've it's a work in progress because like we're learning about certain stuff. Like we had this one fern that just wouldn't stop growing, and it would get so big. And then the first year we had it, we got through the winter time, and the winter almost killed it because we didn't think to take them inside when it froze. We're like, I don't know. And, but like it got down to like 2 little sprigs. I mean, this thing it got huge, right? And then it got all the way down to 2 little sprigs. And we like replanted it, did everything. And next thing it got even bigger the next year. And so like this, I mean, it's an asparagus fern is what it was. I don't know how well, but we take really, really good care of this thing. We bring it inside when it gets cold. Like right now, our garage, like we've got about 18 plants in our garage because it snowed last week, and then
we did the same thing.
Yeah, you kind of had to.
Lo and behold, it's 80 degrees today. And it's like, I'm 46 years old, and I still enjoy learning new things.
Yeah.
I think that it's important to kind of keep an open mind. One of the things like my parents' generation, and I'm not shitting on boomers. It's just like there's like a mentality of like this is the way things are. This is the way they were. It used to be. It was better then. Blah blah. I mean, the only time that's really true is when you talk about the internet. I do think life was better before the internet, just as humans. But it also has created a lot of awesome stuff too. So it's I don't people get into those generation debates, and I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Like every generation's
going to say the same thing.
Every generation's got their own thing. I just feel like keeping an open mind is really, really important because you might learn the things that I've learned, like as a grown up, have been way more useful to me as a person than anything that I learned before I got out of school. You know what I mean? just developing these type of skills to have conversations with different types of people and have empathy and understand where other people are coming from, where your experience is one of 8 billion. Like there's so many different people living so many different lifestyles. You can learn from that. You can learn from how other people, get by or survive or become successful, because just because your experience, it's unique to you, it doesn't make it any better or worse than anybody else's, and most of us have it better than a lot of other people do. So having that open mind and being willing to listen to people and really hear where they're coming from, I feel is an important way to live your life and be part of the world.
Yeah, you can always learn stuff from people too.
We started on philosophy and we're ending
I
on
know,
it.
right?
I didn't mean
coming
to do
full
that.
circle, actually.
Before we wrap up, you got anything you want to share with the audience? Any words of wisdom or advice, or do you want to promote anything else you've got coming up?
The
stage is yours.
Don't know.
I'll let you go.
Well, I think they should obviously come out on December 6th because the show is going to be a treat between everyone that's playing, especially Gilby. And it's just going to be fun. I feel like a lot of people have a misconception that acoustic shows are, I don't know, not as fun or boring, or it's maybe background music for bars and restaurants and stuff like that. But it's going to be a great show. It also gives us the opportunity to share our music in a different way than you guys are able to hear it on our album. And same thing with Gilby. He doesn't have any, I don't think, acoustic music recorded out there. So, it'll be a great opportunity to hear something that you won't be able to hear at home.
Yeah, acoustic shows are a lot more, they're chill and laid back.
They're intimate.
So it's a good, that's what I like about
it's
them.
an intimate vibe with the acoustic shows. And, one of we get a lot of positive feedback about what we do here. But the one negative critique that people have about this place in particular is that it's loud. And usually when I hear it, I'm like, well, no shit, it's a concert. But acoustic shows are also a good way to kind of get in on the fun here. Come here, if you're sensitive to noise in that sense, come to the acoustic shows, because I know you're going to rock out. You're just going to do it not as loud.
Yeah,
do it quietly.
But other than that, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you can follow. I mean, we're Death of August on every social media platform that we have.
I did want to ask you the name, Death of August.
Yeah.
This is the last thing we're going to wrap it up here, as I promise. Tell me about the name. Where'd that come from?
Where was it? I don't remember where it was at.
We were at the Fillmore.
Oh, the Fillmore.
We were watching a Big Four tribute band, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer tribute band, and we met now one of our friends who also plays music, and we were talking to him and his sister about our band.
Yeah, because we
were doing.
We didn't have a band name yet at that point.
And I think we mentioned something about something that we have going on in August. It was really loud, and he was like, "Oh, Death of August, that's a cool band name."
Yeah, he was
so
like,
you didn't even come up with it. This guy just heard it wrong.
Yeah, he was like, what are you guys up to? He's like, what are you guys doing? Something at the end of August.
I thought there was a meaningful story to that.
Yeah, I hate to admit, because we were high school still when that happened. Because to be fair, we did try to come up with names. We had lists of names, and we were just like, no. We couldn't find anything that fit. And then when he said that, we were kind of jokingly like, well, Death of August sounds cool. And then we just kind of went with it.
It is a cool name. Make no mistake, it's a really cool band name.
Also, there were a lot of band names that were taken, and we were surprised a lot more than we thought.
That was
already taken. We would look them up on Google, on Facebook, on Instagram, as many actually, I don't think we had Instagram on Facebook. I can imagine how many more names are taken nowadays and how much harder it probably is to come up with a band name now.
It's funny. I've actually had that thought before too, about how do you even come up with an original band? Like all the good ones are taken.
Yeah.
I feel like everything you could possibly think of already someone has it somewhere.
And then someone comes along, calls themselves Bad Omens, and you're like, ooh, that's fucking
love
good.
Bad Omens.
Like, why didn't I think about that?
But
Awesome.
I do have a tidbit. You guys can find our debut album on all streaming platforms. It's called Fear of the Unknown. And yeah, like Amirah said, you can follow us on everything, anything and everything.
Yeah, it's just Death of August. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this, ladies.
Thank
I've been
you.
looking forward to this. I've wanted to have you on for a long time, and we had to wait for an opportunity to have you guys play here to do it. And I'm so happy you came in. I've really enjoyed talking to you girls.
Us
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, we really enjoyed this.
All right, be here Saturday, December 6th, Gilby Clarke, Death of August. It's going to be a good time. Peace and love.